New info about Ras Master just surfaced, and it completely changes what we thought we knew. For a while now, Ras Master has been one of the biggest unanswered mysteries in Ninjago Dragons Rising, but according to the new information, we may finally be closer to the truth, and some of the most popular theories might already be wrong. Ras isn't just another villain. From the moment he appeared in Dragons Rising, it was clear he wasn't alone. Every move he makes is a plan from his master. And now new rumors are giving us our clearest picture yet of who Ras Master really is, how powerful he is, and what role he will play in the future of Ninjago. Let's break it all down. According to new rumors, the identity of Ras Master is expected to leak soon, and that alone is big, because soon can mean a lot of things. A future episode leaking early, a magazine reveal, a set listing, or even a casting leak. No matter how it happens, we are very close to finding out who Ras Master is, and we might get more hints in Dragons Rising Season 4 Part 1, which suggests Ras Master isn't the background figure anymore. They're about to step into the spotlight. This is huge, because according to the rumor, Ras Master is not the Overlord, and honestly, that makes sense. As iconic as the Overlord was, Ninjago has used him a lot. He's been defeated, resurrected, and reused across multiple eras. Dragons Rising feels different. It's actively trying to move away from the legacy villains and build something new. New realms, new characters, and entirely new locations. So instead of recycling the Overlord again, this could mean that it's a brand new villain we haven't seen before, or just someone like an Oni. Another detail is that Ras Master reportedly has strong motivations, and this matters more than people realize. One of the biggest criticisms of some Dragons Rising villains is that they feel evil for the sake of being evil, but Ras Master is different. Their actions are driven by a belief or a personal reason that actually makes sense within Dragons Rising, and that explains Ras himself. Ras doesn't act like a mindless being, he acts like someone who genuinely believes in the cause he's serving. According to the rumors, Ras Master will not betray him, and that's rare in Ninjago. Usually when there's a master and a higher being, the weaker villain gets betrayed, used as a pawn once they're no longer useful. But here, Ras and his master are aligned. They're partners in a larger plan, and that makes them far more dangerous than a typical villain duo, because there's no internal conflict to exploit, at least not yet. Now this is where things get even more interesting, because the Dragons Rising Season 4 teaser may have quietly given us our biggest clue yet about Ras Master. Not directly, but through a location. In the Season 4 teaser, we see a mysterious place guarded by monk-like figures, heavily tied to the green energy and the source dragons. Before chaos breaks out and an elemental monster emerges. So what exactly is this place? One major theory is that this location could be the Cauldron of Realms, a place first mentioned back in Dragons Rising Season 2 during the Tournament of Sources. Ras's entire plan revolved around gathering elemental powers, bringing them to the Cauldron of Realms and using them to create Source Dragon icons. But despite how important that location was to Ras's goal, we never actually learned where it was. This new location fits the description almost perfectly. It appears to be deeply connected to the Source Dragons, with pillars representing them, and notably some of those pillars are lowered. The only one still standing represents motion, energy and flow. The 3 Source Dragons still on the console after Season 3 Part 2. That detail alone makes this place feel extremely significant. What makes this even more important is that it has been mentioned before that the Cauldron of Realms is the home of Ras Master. So if this location is the Cauldron, then it could explain a lot. It could be the place where Ras Master resides where the dragon's icons are created, or even where Ras Master could eventually emerge when the time is right, possibly using this location as some kind of portal. There's another strong possibility that this place is actually a source dragon reservoir, something we've heard before. We've already seen locations like Source Henge that visually represents the source dragons without being the cauldron itself, and this new place could serve a similar purpose, acting as a reservoir of elemental balance tied directly to the source dragons. Either way, what really matters is what happens there. Elemental monsters are emerging directly from this location, which suggests that whatever this place is, it's capable of spawning or releasing them, and that likely ties back to the imbalance caused by fractured Source Dragon Council. With the balance disrupted, these monsters are likely evil versions of the elemental powers themselves. For example, the acid monster may not just represent water. It could represent all the powers connected to the Source Dragon of Law. By that logic, the Earth monsters wouldn't represent just Earth, but every elemental power under the Source Dragon of Strength. That would explain why there aren't dozens of monsters for every single element, and instead only a handful representing much larger sources. And if these monsters emerge in a similar way as Source Dragon icons, that raises another huge question. Could Ras capture these elemental monsters and use them as a Source Dragon icon? That wouldn't make sense, since the Source Dragon icons can bring a Source Dragon to the merged realms, and won't likely be the same with the elemental monsters. If so, that would once tie everything back to Ras's original goal, and to his master. Now let's talk about his power. According to the rumors, he was stronger than Thunderfang, but not stronger than a Source Dragon, which later clarifications stating that he is not stronger than all 7 Source Dragons combined. This places Ras Master in a very specific tier of power, above major threats, but just below God tier beings, like the Source Dragons. This rumor doesn't confirm everything, but it still talks about the major details. If Ras Master isn't stronger than all Source Dragons combined, that doesn't mean they can't revile one individual, and that leaves a door open for some very interesting possibilities. They're clearly operating on a cosmic level. That means that Ras Master is at the same level as the Overlord, since the Overlord is darkness itself. If these rumors are even partly true, then Ras Master is being positioned as a long-term villain, a Dragons Rising threat and one of the most important antagonists in modern Ninjago. Ras Master isn't like any villain we have seen before. There's clearly a reason why they're hiding him for so long. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Ninjago content. And thanks for watching.